Hi. Shh. That's better. Yeah, you remember me now? You've seen me before. I wave at you when you're driving off to work in the mornings, and sometimes you see me. And I think more than one time you might have waved back too. So maybe that's why my presence in your room seems to only have startled you instead of sending you into a rage shouting for me to leave and that you'll call the police or screaming in fear. Maybe even something more dramatic. I appreciate how you assessed so quickly that I wasn't a threat to you, even here, even so close. Because if I meant you any harm, it would have happened already, while you slept. But you realized that instantly, just now, and that's kind of impressive. And I'll admit, I didn't know what I would do if you did scream at me, so thank you. Well then, so you've seen me before, and I've seen you. Actually, I've seen you a lot, but I should say that at first I only observed you. That doesn't sound as creepy as saying I was watching you like a stalker. I observed you go to work, observed you coming home, observed you go nowhere, seeing no one. No one comes to visit, day after day. So then, I began to wonder what sort of person is this who I see almost every day when I'm riding my bike, or on my skateboard, or just out on a run, and that's when I began watching you. And when I was watching, I saw that often before driving off to work, you'd leave your car to go back and recheck whether you'd locked your front door. You're kind of absent minded about that, and I can confirm for you now that on at least one day you didn't check that your door wasn't locked. On a whim one day, that just happened to be a day that you forgot to lock the door and a day that I saw you forget to go back and check it. I walked up casually to your door as if I belonged there, and I found that it wasn't locked, so I went in. My goodness, you're being awfully quiet when I ramble on my confessions like this. Are you secretly recording me for evidence? Cell phone under the covers, is there? It's alright if you do, I won't mind. Anyway, getting back to my train of thought, have you ever considered the really, really long odds of more two or more random but complicated events coming together at exactly the same time and space and wonder if they were being orchestrated somehow or by someone? Like a story that's being written and the author just throws believability to the winds for a few paragraphs or a few pages and writes some things that involve such unlikely consequences that even they know the readers won't swallow it. No? Well, consider it, if you would, later on, as a favour to me, maybe. Because that's kind of how it seemed to me that events conspired to let me be here like this. Well, anyway, there was your door unlocked, so I went in and I looked around, respectfully, mind you, and I saw a lot of things that told me a lot of things. Dirty dishes that looked like they were all used for something different, each dirty plate stained with something different, but all of them telling me of your one plate meals eaten alone. Single serving takeout cartons, single serving frozen dinners, you get the picture. Your closet is only half full, and in a way that's really unusual, I think, because you left exactly half the closet space completely empty, as if someone invisible owned it, or as if you were expecting someone to suddenly beam out from orbit and fill that half of the closet with their own spacesuits and things. I'd like to dig deeper and understand that one. Work papers, lots of work papers piled up on the dining table, only room for maybe one plate without pushing piles of papers aside. Do you ever stop working? Or is working the thing that takes your mind off the emptiness of the house for a few hours between one day and the next? Ah, I see you're intrigued by my analysis of your living conditions. Is that why you're so quiet? Am I telling you your whole life to you in my own words? Do you suddenly recognize how pathetic it sounds? Do you wonder what else I might know too well about you? So, I made up my mind that day, and I looked and found your spare house key in the kitchen. Seems like everyone keeps spare keys in the kitchen. Don't you think that's a little odd? Someone should study that someday. Maybe there's a deep psychological meaning. Well, after I left and went to the hardware store, I'm so silly. And I had a copy of the keys made for me, and I returned the spare keys to yours the same day. People should be more suspicious of folks who want copies of house keys made, don't you think? Like, what could I be doing with them? Well, there was still a long time until you'd be back, so what to do next? I had an impulse to start washing some of your dirty dishes, but then I realized how weird that would be for you to find. Not a welcome development like the old story of the elves that arrived at night to make shoes for the poor shoemaker. You'd know someone had been inside, or even worse, that maybe you did it and you were losing your memories or losing your mind. So I put them all back carefully, as close to the way they were as I could remember. I've been there many times since then. Sometimes I just sit in a chair and try and soak up the feeling of the place, of what it's like to be you, of being here alone for so long. How long, I wonder? Maybe you can tell me someday. I could have been just like you, living like this, or worse. There are a few random people who sort of took pity on me. Maybe it's my turn to be a random person. I don't have many friends, never did, but I like to share the ones I have with you. Take you places, see movies, play video games together, force you to get outside of your oh so very deep ruts and see some people and do some things and talk to me and listen to me and oh I don't know what all. Anything more than just slowly dying here alone, day by day, night by night. So I'm finally getting to why I'm here. I'm offering you a chance, a choice. To you. Shush, hush. I won't accept or listen to anything you say right now. You're still off balance, and perhaps you're still uncertain of me and my motives. That's wise, actually. I don't begrudge that. You're smart. You've proved that already. So just listen and don't say a word. My offer is good for 3 days and 3 days only. When I leave you, and I will go in just a moment, I will lock the door behind me. The key I made is right here on your bedside table. See it? Tomorrow morning, and for 2 mornings after that, after you go to work, I will casually walk up to your front door and look under your doormat. If I find that key there, I know that you've decided to accept my offer, and you want to give the two of us a chance. If it's there, then by the time that you get home from work, I would have moved in already, and I would have made something for us for dinner, and I'll have picked a movie for us to see together. There'll be some snacks for the movie too. And after that, I'll make you my special coffee blend, and we can talk about ourselves, about where we might be going. Shh. When I say I want you quiet, then you want to talk. Jesus. Listen. Listen really good. After the third morning, if you don't leave the key under the doormat, I won't be back. Not ever. I won't see you outside in the mornings you go to work. I won't disturb your home. I'll become like a bad dream, a fading memory of a strange episode, and you'll wonder if you only dreamed it and somehow gotten it mixed up with real life. I had plans to go off to college, though I still don't even know why I should go. Those plans were kind of made for me, you know? But I'm supposed to leave in 3 days. 4 years is a really long time, and I will have made another life by then, and you may be beyond saving by then. Yeah, you heard that right. 3 days is not just some random number. In 3 days, I'll take one last look under your doormat on my way out of town. After that, you won't even be able to find me, no matter how much you might want to. I'm gonna say goodbye now. In all the cute little stories you hear like this, one of us is supposed to say, I love you, right about now, but you can't. Not honestly, because I'm a stranger to you. And I can't because I only think that I might love you. Now, shh, sleep tight. But just remember, 3 days. Goodbye. But I really hope this is just good night.